Warning, the following video has not been approved by the Comic Code Authority and is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
And scene. Please bear with me, y'all. First, imagine a brick wall behind me. And then imagine soft ambient music playing in the background, which is meant to soothe your soul as I give you this very important message. And 3, and most importantly, this video is totally not intended for kids. If you create content for YouTube, this video is very important to watch as it describes changes to the upload process, all your existing videos, and potentially your monetization. Hi, I'm the Comic Assassin, and I'm the head of We Don't Want to Take Responsibility, So Go Fuck Yourself, non-department of YouTube. I'm going to go through all the important new requirements for all videos that you should take action on as soon as possible. I'll provide some background on what's happening, walk you through a new audience setting in YouTube Studios and how to use it, and answer some questions that you might have about this update, which I know is convenient because this is a recording and I can't actually take any of your questions. So back in September, YouTube claims they shared the steps they're taking to address a recent settlement with the Federal Trade Commission that will help content creators comply with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, known as COPPA, or COPPA. And if I say COPPA, does that make me flagged to be in violation of COPPA? So, basically, in order to scare the shit out of you and ruin your day, we are now required to ask you to mark your videos as made for kids or not, because, never mind that we have a separate YouTube for kids called YouTube Kids, or if we've allowed kids to have, under the age of 13, to have illegal accounts on YouTube, or that we ask that parents actually might be responsible and monitor their kids' online use. Instead, we'd like to pass the blame on to you, the content creator. Trust me, it makes sense. So you know your videos and audience best. So we launched a new audience setting that lets you tell us if your videos are made for kids or not. In addition to this setting, we will use machine learning systems to help us find content clearly made for kids, because trust us, robots are better than people when it comes to moral judgment. Oh wait, but don't rely on our systems to set content for you, because that makes no sense, but we wanted to say it anyway. Like all automated systems, they're not perfect. If you don't set your audience, or we detect error or abuse, we may set your audience for you. But in most cases, we will pretend you know what you are talking about. There are 2 ways to set your audience, at the channel level or at the video level. To do so, go into your studio and just click some buttons, but when in doubt, go for the not made for kids route, put a disclaimer in your video, and make sure to use plenty of George Carlin's 7 dirty words, which for reminder are, shit, piss, fuck, and 4 others, don't blame me, I didn't make the list. Now we realize this might be a big change, so let's dive into some questions that you may have. What is considered made for kids? Well, per the FTC guidelines under COPPA, when deciding if your channel or video is made for children, you should think about the subject matter of the video. Do you intend kids to be your targeted audience? Or if it includes child actors or models? Or if it includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. Also, if it uses language that is meant for children to understand. So when in doubt with this, just speak a foreign language or gobbledygook and you should be good. Or if it includes activities that appeal to children, such as play acting, simple songs and games, or early education. And I'll repeat myself by saying if it includes songs, stories, or poems that appeal to children. And what other information you may have to help determine your audience. Ultimately, we cannot provide legal advice, so we're not able to confirm if your content is made for kids. So once again, we do not want to take any responsibility or act like we have any power over our own platform, but we want to help you follow the law as much as we can. Check out our help center or talk to a lawyer, because this just went from silly to insane. And if you need more help, we would advise you go look up your ass and to the left. Alright, I'm getting down to the nitty gritty, y'all. I had the whole thing transcribed, so basically if you saw what the video that came out from YouTube describing their settlement with the FTC, how they're making changes to their platform, and how they're going to try to comply with COPPA, basically, you know, I was just mocking the video that they did. Now, this got my attention because as a content creator, yes, I've noticed the last few times I've had to upload a video, I've had to make the distinction if this video is made for kids or not. No worries, my stuff has always been mainly for mature audiences, but I deal with one of those gray areas, right? But I didn't really think about it too much until I start seeing members of my community make videos saying that they're done. They're done making any more videos. Some have deleted their accounts. Some have deleted previous videos. Some have made their previous videos private. And I was like, okay, let me see what's going on a little bit more in depth now. I look at YouTube abroad, and I'm seeing some big hitters on YouTube. I mean, people who have 100,000 plus subs coming out saying that they're done. They're done making videos. Pretty much the same thing. They might be deleting stuff, etc. So I'm like, okay, Houston, we may have a problem. What is this COPPA and what is going on, and how should I proceed? So I do a little bit of homework. I look at COPPA, I look at the law, all that stuff you can find out yourself as well. I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. This is just my opinion, and hopefully this will give all of you guys a little sense of hope, right? Because a lot of people are scared out there right now. And for good reason, because they're talking about, possible life-changing penalties, and I get that. So first off, let me say I'm totally cool with protecting our kids when it comes with their online use. When it comes to their data, their privacy, etc. As a parent, I've had issues with my kids online. I'll even give you some examples. So my daughter was on YouTube. She was really into the PewDiePie thing, right? And she got into one of these groups that was like a subscribe to PewDiePie, Twitter account. So she started her own Twitter account, unbeknownst to me. We had to find this out after the fact, which is also on me for not regularly monitoring my daughter's online use, right? I get that. And the person who was running the page, who was an adult, he was over the age of 18, asked my daughter how old she was. She says 13. And after the fact, this douchebag still asked if she pretty much was getting to the point if she would send revealing pictures of herself. Right? So yeah, Epic Mafia Gamer, boom. I'm pointing you out, buddy. I told you I was still going to come after you, but these are the type of predators that we need to protect our kids from. Alright? I get that. My kids, my boys, they like Peppa Pig. I like Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig's a fun show, especially if you're an adult and you got kids that like that stuff. It's actually one of the more enjoyable shows, in my opinion. But on YouTube, you got these sickos that will put out clips of Peppa Pig, which not only is a copyright violation, correct? But in the middle of them, they'll put in some sick shit where Daddy Pig whips out an axe and kills the whole family, right? Yes, I would love some online protection for my kids when it comes to that kind of material, YouTube. I really would. But those aren't violations of COPPA. We're speaking specifically about COPPA. And once again, I want to remind everybody, I don't think this is all doom and gloom. Alright, there's two things that you need to remember when it comes to COPPA. Two things. Intent and knowing. Intent and knowing. Now the intent, that's I think where a lot of people get scared, because like me, I talk about comic books, which could be construed as possibly aimed towards kids. You have some other industries like the toys in gaming, which could be construed as for kids, right? And that leaves a lot of us being in that gray area. Even if, like, someone's talking about something that their intended audience is not necessarily kids, a lot of people are family friendly. And it makes them question if, how COPPA is going to influence or affect their channel. When it comes to intent, obviously, if there's a cut and dry way of looking at it. If you know your stuff is made for kids, like market as for kids, that might mess up your monetization. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But sometimes it's very black and white, right? Ryan's World, made for kids, right? But a lot of us deal with this in-between gray area. If the FTC were to approach you, if you're one of the members of these gray areas, it's on them to prove your intent. And it's hard to prove intent when it comes to the court, when it comes to the court system. Right? I talk about comic books. Go to a comic book shop. Most all those comic books are rated teen and above. Look at the movies. Those are probably more popular. Look at the MCU. Look at the DCU. Look at all those movies. Those movies are rated PG-13 and up. Now, yes, there are some ones that are more intended towards the kids. But generally speaking, they're not. All right, even the toys. Toys are a big iffy one, right? Because a lot of people do videos on, toy reviews, Legos, things like that. But they do it from a collector standpoint of view. Once again, the FTC is going to have to prove who your main audience is. Right? Go look at your subscribers, look at who's watching your videos. Hey, go to the cons. Go to these Comic Cons, these Toy Cons. Who's the majority of people you'll see there? Adults. So basically what I'm saying is the FTC is going to have a very, very hard time proving that your show is intended for kids. That's extremely important, the intention part. Right? If you don't feel like your show is intended towards that specific age group. It doesn't mean kids won't come check out your stuff, even if it's not intended for them. But intention is a big issue when it comes to being compliant with COPPA. But all this is not illegal. It's not illegal to make stuff that's intended for kids or not for kids or for general audiences. That's not what is illegal. What is illegal with COPPA is the knowingly collecting data from minors, 12 years old and below. Now, COPPA has been around since 1998, about 7 years before YouTube was even in existence. All right? So it's a little outdated, needs some changing. How many YouTube creators have been found in violation of COPPA over these last 20 years? Zero. Zero. At least that I know of. If you know of one, please put it down. And you know why that is? It's because you, the content creator, have not been in violation of COPPA, nor will you be in the future. And that's because you're not the one collecting the data. That has been YouTube. YouTube's been the one collecting the data for monetization purposes, not you. All right, so keep that in mind. All of this is YouTube's problem. They're trying to pass the buck on to you, but in a court of law, I don't see how that's going to stand. Because it is explicit in COPPA that if you make things intended for kids, you are not allowed to collect data from kids. I've never collected any data. I don't even think I even have the capability of collecting data. Now, I'm sure there might be some bigger channels, ones that have, multi-million-dollar subscriptions. They might even have paid staff to help them with that channel. They might have the capability of doing some type of data mining and using that in a way to help fund and monetize their show. That is possible. I get that it is possible, but I'm going to say for the average run-of-the-mill YouTube content creator, monetized or not, we're not really interested in your data. We're not the ones collecting your data. Or we might even have the capability of doing so. So I don't know why YouTube is going this route and fear-mongering and making people think that they're going to get paid fined $42,000 per video if they're not compliant. Because you know what? Like I said, in most cases, it hasn't been us that's been non-compliant. It's been YouTube. All right? So please keep that in mind. Now, YouTube can take 3 simple steps and fix a lot of this without trying to scare the crap out of their content creators, which actually makes no sense whatsoever. First thing is they can change the way they do their advertising scheme. Because once again, it's not illegal to advertise towards kids. Go look at TV. And of course, I know we're dealing with the online, privacy protection, not TV, but go look at Nickelodeon. Right, go look at Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., any other kids channel. There's a lot of ads on there. And there's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing illegal about having ads on YouTube directed towards kids. There's not. And that's why it's a shame that people will get a cut in their monetization if they do make kid-only material. But that's based on YouTube's scheme. Right, that's on them and how they run their business. And I feel unfortunate for people who find themselves in that realm. But the truth is, it's how they do their scheme. Anybody, say it's Lego. Lego can come to YouTube right now. They can say, hey, we want to advertise this product. YouTube could be like, okay, what we'll do is we'll try to identify channels that deal with Lego or toy-related items. We'll look at how many subscribers they have, and we will, advertise on those shows. There is nothing illegal about that. But no, what YouTube has chose to do instead is what's called behavioral advertising or behavioral targeting advertising. Basically, where they collect data from the user. And this is in the form of, what shows they're watching, the cookies, their browser, search history, things of that nature, and they are doing targeted videos towards these kids. That's what's been illegal. That's the only thing that's been illegal about this whole COPPA YouTube thing, is them using cookies and individual browser search history to do targeted ads towards minors, which is a violation of COPPA. They could just change the way that they do their advertising and boom, it's done. And let's be honest. These behavioral targeted ads are pretty stupid in the first place. I've been surprised that people can actually make such a good living on YouTube, because who actually watches the ads? Who actually purchases stuff made from the ads? It seems really, really freaking silly to me, to be honest with you. Because honestly, as a viewer of YouTube content, I find the ads annoying. I've actually stopped watching shows because of the ads, even in the comic book community itself. There's some people that I really, really like their content, but once they became monetized, I just personally don't like having to see an ad every 5-10 minutes. I can go somewhere else and get something ad-free. So it's silly, alright? That's just my opinion. Not that I'm glad people monetize their channels. I mean, good for them. 2, YouTube can make you have to have an account in order to watch YouTube. Right? Everybody has to sign in. Oh, and how would this fix the problem? Well, in order to have a YouTube channel, or have a YouTube login, you have to have an email account. Here in the US, all email accounts, you have to be at least 13 or older in order to have an email address. Boom, solves the problem. Now this does not mean that kids are going to not lie. All right, kids lie all the time, right? But if you're going to punish people who are doing things right, that's kind of like, because a kid lies, that's like punishing the teacher because a kid cheated on a test. right? How is that going to fly in a court of law, right? Are we going to fire a teacher because a kid cheated on a test? No. No, 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 no. It's just not going to happen, people. Not going to happen. But they could do that. They could do that, or simply have a disclaimer saying that person has to click, saying that they are over the age of 12 years old, 13, whatever the case may be, in order to view content. Like I said, people are going to lie, but who can you punish when people lie? You should punish the people who are lying, even if they're kids or not. I don't care. So, taking all this into account, I seriously doubt the FTC is going to be knocking on anybody's doors. Now, I'm sure there might be some people who might actually be in violation of this. I do tell people, I'm going to recommend that every content creator just be smarter about how they do their videos, even if it's kid-friendly or not. You know, just be careful about the data that you may be collecting. Like if you're asking people for their email addresses, any other kind of personal information, especially if you're doing contests and things of that nature, and you're acquiring things like email addresses or other account information, be very, very careful about how you do that. Be very, very careful, because that's when you're going to start getting the slippery slope. You just making a video for kids or not is not a violation of COPPA. Because like I said, you are not the ones collecting the data. That's always been YouTube. And it will still always be YouTube. Right? So I just wanted to do this video because I see a lot of people, like I said, scared shitless. You know, people that I actually enjoy watching on YouTube. And it's a shame that YouTube is taking this stance and making such changes. I get it. You know, they need to comply with the law. Quit taking people's data. Boom. It's that freaking simple. All the other changes they're making to the, if you mark your video for not for, or made for kids, when it comes to the taking away the comments, notification bell, all this kind of stuff, that's all YouTube. All those changes they're making there is not going to make them any more or less compliant with COPPA. Those are changes that they're wanting to make. And I don't know why. I don't know why YouTube is really wanting to screw their platform up, because they have the power of their platform as long as they follow the law. And the only thing that they were doing to not follow law was illegally take people's data. It seems pretty cut and dry, but no, they want to make these drastic changes. They want to scare the hell out of you, the common content creator, and don't let them in. Just keep on going about business as normal unless you really feel like you need to make some changes, because I really don't see this going anywhere. They're going to be doing their sweeps. The FTC is going to come and do sweeps of videos come January, and let them. Because if you go watch the workshop they just had in last October, these are issues they're still talking about. These vague what is intended for kids, what is not intended for kids. All right, even they don't have a really good grasp of this whole situation. And I doubt they're going to be coming and trying to fine people a whole bunch of money and have a lot of time in the courtroom with these vague notions. So please sleep easy. Everything's going to be all right. Don't worry about it unless you think you really need to worry about it. The comic assassin ain't going nowhere. I challenge the FTC to come after me, because you know what? The comic assassin is going to get a nice hefty payday. All right, I won't be fined. I'll be making some money. Guarantee it, baby. Guarantee it. Because you know what? Here's the thing. Last time I checked, this is still the United States of America. We still have this thing called freedom of speech. And this is YouTube's platform. As long as I'm complying with YouTube's policies and they're allowing me to express my views and opinions, then I'm all good. Because once again, I'm not the one taking the data. YouTube is. Now, YouTube can ban me at any given time, and they have that right. Because they're a private company, they can do what they want with their platform. Alright, but instead of having some cojones and actually doing something that makes sense, they're wanting to scare the crap out of you, and don't let them, y'all. Don't let them. Keep on rocking it. This is the Comic Assassin. Those are my 2 cents. If I said something that was incorrect, please put it down in the comments. Because like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but a lot of this just seems like, hey, let's look at the law. Let's use some common sense, which I know is a rare freaking thing these days. All right? Thank you for checking this video out. If you found this helpful, comment, like, dislike, whatever you want to do. But just keep on rocking it, y'all. Keep on rocking it. Peace.